Student pass-fail state. How to define rules in natural language and test in JavaScript Testbed.
We are going to check the pass-fail state of a student. Let's build a project. Open FlexRule Designer. Create a new project. Let's name it Natural Language Sample. Create a new fact concept document. Name the fact as person. Add members to the person such as name, birth year, along with the type. Save the file. Otherwise, the attributes in the fact concept will not be auto-suggested. Create a new business glossary document. Add a new term, total. If the attributes from the fact concept are not auto-suggested, that means you have not added the fact concept file or variable parameters. So let's add the fact concept as a variable parameter named person. And its expression should be the addition of a person's last year test results and test results. When there are multiple expressions, each expression should be surrounded by braces. Domain of the term should be numeric. Add a natural language file, person validation. Open the natural language file. You can remove the comments at the beginning of the file. Now we will add the variable parameters. First, add an output variable parameter, error, to store the error message. Add the fact concept as an input variable parameter named person. Write the rules to validate the name and birth year. We want to make sure that name and birth year have valid input values. Validate the rules to ensure that there are no validation errors. Click on the icon, Debug with JSON Composer, to test the validation rules. Keep name null. If you click Next Step, you will see it satisfies the first rule and the execution will be completed successfully. Test again, entering a name and keeping birth year null. If you click Next Step, you will see it satisfied the second rule and the execution will be completed successfully. The output can be seen on the parameters window. Add a general flow file, flow. Add start and end nodes. Add the validation natural language file to the flow. Add the fact concept as an input variable parameter named person. Integrate your natural language as a step of a flow. Add a natural language file, test results state. Write the rules to define pass-fail state. We will be using the business glossary to get the total. Validate the rules. Test the written rule. Add a validation trigger, then the business rules will only run. if the input is valid. Add isValid as a Boolean input variable parameter in this document. Also, add the same variable parameter in person validation document with default value as true and define the validation's actions there. Now go back to the test result state document. Validate the rules and ensure that there are no errors. Debug the document by entering different input data to test each rule. You can always see the output on the parameters window. It is better to test each rule separately. Go back to the flow, add test results state rule set to the flow. Integrate your natural language as a step of a flow by adding different input values. Since we have connected both natural language documents, we can go inside those files and see which rules are satisfied. The final output can be seen on the parameters window. You can debug the document by entering different input data to test each rule. Using a business glossary, you can hide the complete variable parameter names, such as person.name, so a non-technical person can understand the code easily. Then you can reference those business terms in your logic documents, such as decision tables and natural language. In this example, we will define name and birth year in the business glossary. So instead of using person.name, we can directly use name. Now go back to the person validation document and link the business glossary. Then we can use the defined terms here in the natural language document. Validate the business rules. We are now testing the flow again. You can see the output in parameters window. Now let's test the code in JavaScript Testbed. Open the validation file to test first. Launch the JavaScript Testbed. JS Testbed will open in your web browser. Insert your sample input to validate it. Select the logic from the drop-down list and run logic. Output can be seen on the results screen. Open Test Results State File to test. Launch the JavaScript Testbed. JS Testbed will open on your web browser. Insert your sample input to check the pass-fail state. Select the option to show input parameters in Result Panel. Select the logic from the drop-down list and run logic. Output can be seen on the results screen. Want to get started? Visit our resource hub for more information.